All right, guys, we have the most exclusive. I'm so excited. I don't even know where to start, but we're extremely lucky to have this. Here you guys go.
You're welcome. Hi everybody, welcome to Game Gorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
And today we're here to talk to you about Curse of Osiris, Destiny 2's upcoming expansion.
Osiris.
I went through like 3 different kinds of voices for that.
And like 10 different octaves.
Yep.
It was weird.
Curse of Osiris is bringing a ton of changes and additions to the game, the most notable of which are an increased level cap up to level 25 for a player, obviously an increased light level cap up to 335 if you use mods, and a new layer of the Leviathan raid that we can participate in, which I would say looks to be really fun, but, you know, don't really have any information about it.
I want to talk about that for a second. I want to talk about how Bungie's a bunch of because they had this live stream where they're going to be talking about the new Leviathan raid level and how they're going to be showing, and they're going to go more in depth in this one than they've ever gone on in a raid before.
This is actually more than we've ever said about any sort of raid context or any sort of raid engagement prior to the launch of a thing.
And it was this big, huge thing, and they're like, all right, guys, are you ready? We're going to do this. He walks up to the door opens, and he's like, all right, I'm going to sit here.
Yeah,
This
and then
is
he
what you get.
literally uses the sit emote and sits in front of the door. And he even said, I'm sorry if I spoiled anything.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Certainly not.
He just opened the door.
Well, and the worst part of that is when he opened the door, it wasn't like, here's a wide open space and you can see
Yeah,
forever.
it was a door
it was a fucking
that
wall.
opened into a wall and split off into 2. And then, yeah, it was just rock solid, no information.
That was...
So there is a raid. Presumably it's going to be enjoyable. They have stated that the goal of the raid is to be shorter form raid content, right? Because they had heard the players complaining when we start to do a raid, we usually can't finish it. Like, we have to wait for people to get home from work, so we have to start late, and then we go into like 1 or 2 in the morning. So
I'm
this
just saying
is
it took Q times raid group B only about an hour.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah. It took us longer. We had 3 uneducated players though. They had 0.
I mean, what I do really like about it is the fact that they're planning on using the Leviathan raid location for 3 different like raid and it kind of goes into the story of like you're going into deeper in the belly of it, and you're going to like see different parts, and this is a giant planet eater, so of course just going to one part of it isn't going to automatically make it so that the whole thing is broken. Like,
Sure.
And I really like that aspect of it, that it's going to be additional content on the same location. I don't know, and you get to get more in depth in the story.
And I was seeing a lot of people that were disappointed that it wasn't its whole like its own instance, its own environment, and I can kind of see where they're coming from. But a lot of people, I think, got a little carried away. People were saying like, oh, they're going to be copy pasting like set pieces and assets and stuff like that, and really there's no evidence for that at all. And like if they take a raid fight from what we had in Leviathan before and put it into this new layer, I'm gonna be upset. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for like double heroic this thing. Like, no, that doesn't, I want something new puzzles, new things. And if it fits the theme of the overall Leviathan raid, that's cool, I dig that, but you know, there has to be some creativity in the mechanics and in the environment in order for it to be kind of filling its potential, and I don't have any reason to doubt that they've done that. So I'm not gonna be upset right now.
No, I like it. I'm glad that they're doing it, and I'm not gonna immediately go into it negatively. As soon as we finish it, which I'm sure we are, because we've got groups of people in Q Times that are just really, really pushing to finish.
Subtle plug. God, I'm gonna cut all that out. What are you doing?
We're also going to be getting 2 brand new Crucible maps, which I'm really excited about because I love PvPing, even though I'm just hot garbage at it. There's going to be Pacifica, which is going to be an interior and an exterior map. It's primarily interior, and there's some outside areas. It's going to be located on Titan, so you kind of get an idea of the theme that they're going to be going with.
I'm sorry, I gagged.
Yeah,
hate Titan.
I don't like Titan the planet itself. Like,
To be fair, I do like Titan's aesthetics. I don't
Sure.
like Titan just being there and trying to grind. And,
yeah, and Titan's like your map location, it's really easy to get lost. But it's going to be a dual layer. What, you don't get lost in? Like,
No.
Like, you'll start here and they'll be like, oh, the public event area is here. And you're like, oh, I'm going to go, oh, there's a wall there. Okay, how do I gotta go over here?
I have never had that problem.
Well, aren't you just special.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you. I don't get lost on Titan. There are waypoints. Thank you.
It's going to be slightly tighter in locations, so it's not going to be having long distance like aiming, so scout rifles aren't going to be necessarily the best on that map, but the outside areas are going to be a little bit longer, so you'll be able to get some use out of it, but it's going to primarily be a close range fight.
Rocket launchers. The other map's called Wormhaven, which is a indoor map that has interesting features, specifically the windows. There's a lot of like transparent surface that you can't shoot through, but you can see through. So like cover that's not opaque, which it sounds like a really dumb thing to talk about during a discussion about a map, but actually I think that's an interesting tactical difference. Where like if you hide behind this cover, an enemy sometimes doesn't know whether you ran away or whether you're hiding to ambush them with a melee weapon, because that is literally one of my favorite tactics in Destiny, is to run away from someone that I was shooting, round a corner, pull out my sword, wait for him to come around the corner and just stab him and then run away. Not having the ability to do that as cleanly in every single situation is super different. Like that's not something that we see a lot in a bunch of other maps. And I'm really excited to play on that map. Both of these maps.
And it's much more open space too. Like it's not.
Yeah,
It's not,
the fact that it's indoors, it's not confined. I think scout rifles and rocket launchers will be totally fine in it. It's 2 stories. It's really tall ceilings. It looks really fun.
There's been a couple of videos that Bungie has released. The first one was a weapons and armor kind of release video, which it showed it, but it didn't explain anything. It was like quick flashes. Woo! Ah.
And there's some weapons that just don't have different enough particles to understand why they're different from weapons that already exist. So it was sort of useless. There were a couple of interesting things, like there was a weapon that shot a little spider onto the ground.
Yeah, that was
crawled
really cool.
towards and then exploded, and I guess exploded and then he died. That was pretty interesting, but as far as I could tell, that was the only real unique mechanic that I saw.
Out of at least from the weapons.
Yeah.
Like everything else was like it shoots.
It shoots bullets at your
shoots
enemies.
Bullets faster,
Bullets slower.
but more damage.
Somehow. We're also getting a new planet, Mercury, which is where the expansion takes place, and according to the devs, has the most elaborate public event in Destiny 2 yet. It doesn't, as far as I can tell, have any new mechanics from what the footage they showed, but it does have a large scale. Like instead of being confined to one space, you're hopping from island to island, trying to accomplish goals. And your team can actually split up and go to 2 different islands at 2 different times. You don't have to like take a linear path with the whole group to get it done faster.
I mean, there were other like public events where you would have to travel from point to point.
Yeah.
But it was just like this one is interesting because you kill like a big boss like, over that section, and then it drops a key that will allow you to progress, and it will allow you to use a jump gate. To jump to the next island.
Yeah, and you can activate multiple gates at the same time. Just write something random in the comments. I don't care what it is. While you're down there, like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to subscribe to the channel and help us out, grow and become seen by millions and millions of people. And hit the little notification icon if you want to get notifications whenever we post any new videos. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Krug. You can get me at KrugQT on Twitter.
I'm Indigo, and you can get me at IndigoQT. And you can get both of us on Twitter at _QTimes. Until next time, we've been Game Gorgon. Bye.